Yes, sir. It's off the hip. Unwelcome your thoughts. HD the King in the building. Yes, sir. Got my brother Razor.
How's everybody doing?
We here, man. Just letting this shit rolling rhythm. I should drop this song too right there. Briefcase in the case is a bell, and I'm looking at this paper like my face in the mirror. Have a taste of the jail. When the savage got a theory, I start pissing the scale. Competition getting body, I get ready to smell, and everybody getting high like I completed a sale. Put it in the air, the greasiest spoon.
Speaking of New York, you listen to the new A Boogie?
The new A Boogie? Nah.
There's a couple of songs I'll ride around just slap in the car.
I gotta check his joint now. I've been caught up. Not caught up too crazy, but you know, it's been check. We here, baby. We here. Check where we at. We at the cameras right here. Let's go, man. We back. We back. Y'all know every time I come back for y'all, it's another story of life, y'all. And this time, it was just a bunch of tiredness, a lot of events going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of basketball being watched, a lot in between.
A lot of violence and a lot of hockey.
Man,
really good music.
Yeah, a lot. No, the music is what really had me. I think I had music fatigue. To be honest, I think I had music fatigue, and that
was a long weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's no such thing if you're a music lover, but when you dealing with many hours of the you know what we doing politicking, yeah, buddy, we doing it for hours. Because even when the cameras cut off, we still at it. We going at it before the cameras rolling, after cameras go off. This shit's a movie.
The mind never sleeps.
I know this is totally random, right? Did you watch the Kong movie?
I haven't yet. I heard it's pretty good though.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's type fire. I want to rewatch it. That shit is fire. Just wanted to give them a quick plug right there. Kong, what up? Let's get it, y'all. But carry me through that AEW Dynamite, because I know there's been a lot of murmurs online. You know what I'm saying? Swerve hasn't been treated correctly. The ratings are dipping each week. Weekly drops in the ratings for AEW. So I need that backpack.
Now, I'm probably about as critical of AEW as your next door neighbor, right? But this past Wednesday, I'll admit, may have been their best episode since day one. I enjoyed it from start to finish. There were a couple spots that I wasn't really fond of. I'll get to that in a second. But overall, I was shocked by how the numbers were. I'm going to be honest. I thought that would have been an easy ride back to 800. All right, they're showing signs of life. Yeah, the stuff with Warner is still in limbo. We don't know what's going on, but they're showing life. Let me ask you this. Are folks just not caring anymore? Is the damage done?
So my assessment, and this is just from my standpoint, looking in, I think the moment that Cody Rhodes left, Jade Cargill left, it's kind of like, also CM Punk jumping ship to WWE didn't really help as much in the situation. I feel like them seeing Cody and Jade willingly walk from AEW and then seeing what the product is, they might be holding off from pure fandom, but in a perspective of we know what it is. Like, we know that the competition, that war isn't really much a war anymore. What it was when it was AEW going head to head with NXT, that was more exciting time period. That was more, okay, what are they gonna do?
So take the war completely out of the equation. Just let's look at it as we look at the early days of TNA, where it's just another show. All right. What was the original intent, in your opinion?
For AEW as a whole, or just Dynamite?
Just AEW as a whole. Like, just take WWE and all that bullshit completely out of the equation.
So
what is AEW's identity, as you put it?
The identity to me initially was to find talent around the world that was snubbed by WWE, talent that or hidden gems, so to speak, ones that WWE were overlooking, ones that were ready ahead of NXT development, like talent that like let's say Japan guys, talent in Mexico, well established talent that haven't reached WWE, and also fresher talent. I thought that was the home for AEW.
And what's the first thing they did? They
Chris
signed
Jericho.
everybody from PWG, everybody from GCW, all these small independents that they said they had a dude whose gimmick was to flip a fucking pizza,
Um,
like stuff like that.
Sunny Kiss was. I feel like that was gimmick. Why not keep Sunny on the roster if it wasn't just for show when y'all said what y'all said in terms of, oh, this is the
Nyla
first
Rose, another one.
who Nyla.
Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
Both are extremely talented, very athletic, a lot of potential, but it's despite their personal stuff, you could work with them.
Look,
But
I know we
except
were just mentioning SCU. Where the fuck
three veterans.
Where the fuck Christopher Daniels just come from? With like what?
Well, well, speaking of Christian Daniels,
And I
according to the Young Bucks, he's fired. He's fired.
man,
Like, so let's kick off AEW. So it started with some stuff with I believe it was Daniels and Seidel or someone in another eliminator match for the tag team belts. But Elite gets the win. They mount. I believe it's Matt Jackson from the mouth off of Daniels, running them down and just tells him you're fired. We'll mail you your check, but don't worry, we'll pay you for 30 days. And today, Christopher Dan is no longer listed on the AEW roster page.
wow. So
Now, his
do you see
contract
that?
could be up. We don't know. It could be a TV thing. We don't know. He's pretty been fairly reserved in general on the internet as it is. So, I mean, it could be anything with him. But he'll probably still be behind the scenes trying to stop the bleeding with the ratings.
Let's talk about this for a second, right? Do you feel like the acquisition of ROH hurt, or does it hurt more that instead of just acquiring ROH and using the library, he tried to really revitalize the brand, and it's taken away from, like, you could use that roster on AEW.
Well, here's the thing. He's been very open about saying the reason why he bought Ring of Honor was for the library. So take that for what you will, but he chose to kill them.
Right.
He could have funded them on the down low, like what Vince is doing at ECW for a minute,
Now,
keep them afloat.
was it because of that pay-per-view, the initial all-in pay-per-view they didn't have rights to? Do you feel like that's the reasoning why?
The Bucks definitely probably wanted that for themselves, especially once Cody left, because that should have been Ring of Honor's thing. Because Ring of Honor did made it. That was a if you think about it, that was a Ring of Honor NWA project.
Yeah,
Did it happen to have the EVPs in the main event? Yes, but other than that, it
because
may
I
have
read.
been it may have been the idea of Cody and the Bucks. It made the idea of Cody because had he not made that bet with Dave Meltzer, it never happens.
Yeah, I read that was you can't believe everything you read now, right? But I read that was
Or,
part of the reason why Tony wanted to get Ring of Honor right there, like you said, for the library, and that being one of the main pay-per-views they wanted from the Ring of Honor library right there.
yeah, but for those that may not know, the story said that on the Wrestling Observer podcast, Dave Meltzer flat out says nobody that's not WWE can ever put 10,000 butts in the seats in the United States. Cody Rhodes, being pissed drunk, looks at his wife and says, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna make a phone call." They sold over 10,000 in less than 6 hours.
Mm. I remember that too. They like people were looking at their phones trying to get tickets. They were breaking the
Ticketmaster had to keep calling them to say, "What the fuck did you do to our website?"
yeah. They were definitely breaking the server out right there. That's what I'm saying. They AEW didn't capitalize on all of that momentum. All of that momentum just went down the drain. And
Now, was it momentum, or was it one man that had a plan and two guys that saw the limelight for the first time in their lives, saw it again at Wembley, and other than that, have never seen it since?
it could definitely be that. And I feel like that's also like Cody's responsible for the success of AEW and also for why um he put himself in a spot where he couldn't challenge for the heavyweight championship. And I felt like the fans didn't enjoy that. He didn't want to turn heel over there, which I feel like wasn't so much of a problem, but him not being
Well,
the challenge for the belt was kind of like a weird move for him to do.
well, again, his mission was again much like him in his father's footsteps. This was his baby. He wanted to see it grow, and he wanted to do it from behind the scenes. The people wanted him on top because they saw what he was. Aside from Jericho, he was the number one guy that left that WWE let walk away because of his last name. Because but prior to that, or actually up until left AEW, he wasn't Cody Rhodes. He was just Cody.
Mhm.
WWE or even Vince McMahon would not give him his last name.
Yeah, I remember he was
So,
just Cody. Yep.
be, yeah, Brandy could be Brandy Rhodes. Dustin could be Dustin Rhodes. Cody can only be Cody. So I think the fans not really understanding nor caring about that. They wanted Cody to be on top. Cody said, "No, no, let me show you Darby Allin. Let me show you Ricky Starks. Let me show you Jade Cargill. I believe in them. Give me, trust me on this." They said, "No, we want you," and ultimately they turned on him. That's at least my viewpoint on the situation.
Yeah, I
Hell,
feel him
if
not
you
giving
think
the
about
fans what
it,
they wanted.
if you want to break it down, Cody polished off what we now know as MJF.
Yep. And that's
So
this is why I feel like AEW is also like overexposure with some of their hot talent. Like I wouldn't be this is just me. If I'm Tony Khan and I have the money that he has and I'm at liberty to book people, I'm not gonna have my top talent like and just especially my champions. I'm not gonna have my champions so easily accessible in terms of just having a match every week. You gotta earn that. You gotta earn being in the ring with the champion.
which
Having a
brings me
promo,
to
one thing.
I believe was the next segment, which was another elimination match between Brian Cage and the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland.
I don't
Now, again,
understand.
don't get me wrong, it was a great match, fun match. Both guys are solid, but this is only fodder for the pay per view next week in the match between Swerve and Christian. Now, in this match or after the match, Christian's mouthing off. Nick Wayne comes in, holds a picture of Swerve and his family, bashes him on the side of the head, cuts him up, and blah blah blah. And then Christian cuts another good solid promo, grabs the picture, mushed it against Swerve's face, and told him, "Now I have your blood. I do nothing. I take your title." And then this usual spiel of, "I will be the father that your daughter will now enjoy," or some shit. The match is gonna be fine, but
That's another thing too, right? Like the usage of color in AEW. I feel like they
now
want
they toned down on it for the most part because Mox is on vacation, thank God.
but every time I feel like I watch a swerve match, with the exception of collision last week, he's always bleeding these days.
But my thing with Swerve is how they're using it because if you think prior to him winning the belt, You had Samoa Joe beat the ever loving dog shit out of him with a chain, and he keeps getting back up. Here he takes one shot in the head with a 3x7 or whatever picture, and he's out cold. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that's the tough part right there. That's why using weapons in wrestling is tricky, right? Just the build up, like you said, the fact that have Swerve look so powerful, so dominant, absorbing a Samoa Joe whoop ass, then one strike from a weapon does it to him.
Now, what I did enjoy about that segment was it was essentially a callback to what Swerve and Mogul Embassy had did to Nick Wayne at his father's gym back home. Now, again, that was a clever job by the production for doing so, but it's just the execution is where it kind of fell flat. Like I said before, that small attention to detail. We see where you're going with it, but if you would have tweaked it by this little inch right here, maybe some folks would have stayed to the man and got a few more viewers.
I mean, to be fair, like from what I see online, maybe I'm not looking in the right places, but I used to see a bunch of people defending AEW. I don't see that these days.
Oh, I see you plenty. Maybe they all got you blocked. I'm not there yet.
Nah, I don't typically just get blocked for no reason. But in terms of like my timeline, I would just see a bunch of AEW stuff, people reposting.
Or
Now,
they're laughing on the knee because I'm not afraid to talk shit on the internet.
yeah, that's really where it is. They get defensive. So, like for me, I don't really
And
see
they're talking shit is just saying it was fine, but
yeah, just be
or I would have rather they use this person instead of this person because this person would have made more sense.
yeah, because if y'all listening to Unwelcome Your Thoughts, I keep it real. When I say SmackDown is boring, or if I say Raw is boring and they need to turn it up, I say it. I be honest. So you AEW fans that are biased and you don't want to keep it real, you need to be honest so that their product could take a step up. Stop telling this man that the product is good. They're putting on okay matches, good matches, yes. But we all know that the story can make the match even better. That's just classic storytelling. And
Little teaser for the SmackDown portion of it. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with what I gotta say. I just be forewarned.
ooh wee, ooh wee. I wonder if they could hear this. I don't know if they. You said tell Razor he needs to speak into the mic. He sounds underwater. Maybe let me see if I turn him up on my end.
Hold on,
I have it low on my end.
give me a little work. How about this? A little bit better.
You got the mic in your hand?
Well, I had to adjust it because where it was, it's usually fine, but I guess today it ain't really rocking right there.
About to say
And that's I also got it's supposed to be connected to the my headphone.
you're about to cut a promo right there. Yes, sir.
No, but again,
Yeah.
they got so many good ideas. It's just the plug and play has only gone so far, and if they just use certain people in different spots, it'd be a much cleaner product. That's just it. It ain't no ill will toward AEW. In reality, you'd be surprised how much of us actually enjoy it because we want to believe in them because it's more shit to watch.
And now let me be clear because I know AEW do have storylines. I'm not just saying like they don't have storylines, but not everything has to be extreme. You know what I'm
Not everything
saying?
needs to be done in 2 weeks.
Rushed. It don't have to be rushed. And I feel like also it's better. He said it's better, bro. Um, yes, sir. Oh, it don't have to be rushed and the payoff. Like when you drawing out a long like I go back to the devil, right? Okay, Adam Cole was the devil. What are they doing with them? That's significant.
Because of MJF's injury and because Adam Cole just came back, it wouldn't have hurt to push that off a little bit longer, or have that pop out that Wembley to begin with, where folks actually wanted it to happen.
Right, correct. Yeah.
because that crowd would have lost their shit, and that would have made folks forget all about that lovely situation that AEW decided to air about 2 months ago, which the numbers ain't been right since.
It's
But
just,
let's see,
it's a lot that you know what I'm saying? I don't understand what they doing. The
well,
storyline they finish.
it's their
Like, they don't
slogan.
release nothing.
All AEW wrestling, we're the best wrestle.
Like I don't want to say like in WWE everything leads to something, but I feel like there's a chain of events that continue to happen over there. Like you see people in backstage I feel like that might be what AEW is just lacking a little bit, some more backstage segments aside from filmed vignettes. Make it feel more
It,
live, oh WWE production, but with it got to fit the characters also.
my thing is, we're 5 years deep. They've been anti AEW for so long. They don't even want to look at what has worked for WWE to that in hopes that it'll make them some money because they fear that the minute they'll go to that, they'll say, "Oh, suddenly you're WWE." When again, if you do shit right and you stop calling them by fucking name, no one will give a shit.
Because think back, how many backstage segments you could have had with the inner circle, with the House of Black, instead of just having them film like a like I said, a backstage vignette. You can do so much with these guys in terms of just storytelling outside of the ring.
I mean, this could have been a little far fetched and I'll call me crazy, but this could have saved the Dark Order probably.
I mean, I also thought that too, like when they had the Dark Order being the Elite series, remember? Like they could find ways to integrate that on live television where some of those
They used to.
yeah,
Again, when Cody was still there, a lot of folks had to watch Being the Elite to find out what was going on with
right,
AEW and everything
right.
else.
That is true.
Yet somewhere along the line, they steered away from it. It was working.
I feel
Sorry, folks, you gotta work. You gotta do some work sometimes, guys.
Tony and Chris Jericho having their hands fully on the product now. It's kind of again, like I said, Tony's becoming everything he didn't want to be. He didn't want to be a dictator like Vince, and he's becoming just that.
He did it overnight too. But again, the writing was on the wall the minute he opened his mouth. I forget what Perry was when he said, "Oh, I got more money than was it Gagne? More money than Jim Hurd. If Ted Turner, everyone else knew 1% of what I know now, they'd still be in business." And some
Because
other stupid shit.
what I see from AEW that I didn't see from WWE is like Tony's doing it by himself. Vince would make the ultimate last call, but Vince still had a staff. He still had a team of writers. You know what I'm saying? Producers for each matches. Like I'm not sure. Does Tony have producers for each match? I feel like he's calling.
He well, the thing is he does is that, for example, I think Chris Daniels was one. Chris Hero, formerly Casher. Oh no, he's one of them. Uh, I think Serena D was doing it for the women for a while. They have folks there. It's just one thing is a lot of the guys that they have in certain positions have never been on TV to begin with. Yes, some of them are on Ring of Honor, but again, Ring of Honor is one thing, but to do what WWE does, to do what Triple S Female do in Mexico, to what New Japan does in Japan, it's a whole different world.
Yeah,
And
that
they're all
is true.
different in their own right. And it's like, and even Jericho, he should have known better with certain things. Now, as far as Mark Henry, Big Show, and all those other guys being there, they're probably looking at like, I'm not being asked about it, therefore I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I'm here to get my check and my check alone, which is fine. But Tony Khan, being the boss, should know, hey, I have Jim Ross on my payroll. I have Jeff Jarrett on my payroll. I have Taz on payroll. These guys work here and here. I should be able to ask them anything. They should be able to help me. We should be able to figure this thing out together. Instead, he goes to Jericho. He goes to the Bucks, or he goes to Dave Meltzer.
And Jericho at this point, I feel like you said, 5 years in, and he's done stuff to elevate himself. Yes, he's put eyes on.
Define elevation.
Say that again.
Define elevation.
Just put himself in the spotlight, keep himself there.
Again, there's elevating yourself, and then there's desperately trying to keep yourself relevant.
I think all right, so the first 2 years, him having that song, Judas, elevated him. I've never seen a crowd sing along.
Well, Judas came out, I think, as he left WWE.
Yeah, it definitely came out way before
It
the
was, it was around that time because that's when he was teasing going to New Japan for a little bit. But he was still in WWE when that album came out. It's a really good album.
And it was just like to see the crowd behind him at that moment in time, Le Champion. It was cool to see, like, oh, okay, he still got creativity left with Le Champion.
I enjoyed that most of Max Orange Cassidy. I thought it was funny as shit. But there is a point in time to where if you're around for too long, you kind of dilute yourself. So he did this in WWE before and trying to reinvent himself. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Had he taken breaks periodically and then came back with Learning Tree, or came back with Demo God, came back with the Ocho, if there were big breaks in between them, no one really would have cared.
Yeah, he's just been there.
He's doing it every 3 to 4 weeks.
I think that's my only issue with Jericho too, though. Like, he's constantly changing. It's like he's playing the greatest hits. 1 week Lionheart, 1 week Rainmaker. I feel like the only thing I haven't seen, he might have slipped it in there, is the list Jericho.
We ain't seen that because we're not seeing Y2J. We're not seeing Drink It In Man. We're not seeing
any WWE.
WWE.
I could see that.
And also because those were tied to Vince, so we ain't never seen those things ever again.
And that and again, so this is what, like, I'm gonna be honest. This is a hot take. I think, Vince did what he did, but the product that he put out there for so many years, if we're gonna really see in the next, I say 15 years, it could be shorter than that, but Vince has been in
guarantee
control.
we'll notice something drastic by year 5, potentially even by whenever they jump to Netflix. That first pay-per-view, or whatever, if they're still PLEs or whatever, we'll notice right then and there.
Yeah, because we're in an unprecedented time, I feel, where the bigger than life superstars, that doesn't really exist. Kayfabe is, there's wrestlers that attempt to keep it alive, but in WWE, it's you kind of get a first name, last name there.
Well, as far as the large and live superstars, there may be one emerging in the next few years. And I think we both know who that one is.
Who's that?
Our tribal chief. It's only a matter of time before he goes to Hollywood. He's already had a couple cameos already. We both know he can go whenever he wants because who runs Hollywood? Because it's also his boss in WWE. And it's his cousin. Another one, if you really want to stretch hairs, depending on how he takes care of himself whenever he comes back, would be MJF. But again, the jury's out on both of them if they choose to go down that route. But those are two definite guys who could definitely take that mantle as being how Hogan was in the 80s or whatever, how Cena was in the early 2000s.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not
Hollywood.
That, to me, is not enough because now Now you had these other characters that could just fill out the roster, right? You'll have a Ultimate Warrior, a Macho Man, um,
Roddy Piper, Bret Hart,
the X,
Superfly
yeah,
Snuka,
exactly. You feel me? The list goes on. Depending what years you're talking about, right? The Andre the Giant, Big,
Bossman, Vader,
yeah, Big John Stud.
at one point in time, Undertaker.
Yup.
Everyone clawed their way, and everyone had their roles as a top guy at one point in time.
Right. And all of these dudes that we're naming though weren't just first name, last name. I go out there and I'm a regular guy. There was something about them. Whether they and even Doink the Clown. Like we all remember Doink the Clown.
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman. Yeah, like we don't
Ye-
have none of those. I'm sorry, we don't have any of those characters no more. We don't have a Boogeyman. We don't have a Doink the Clown.
Well, AEW has Orange Cassidy. They have,
Danhausen.
I think Danhausen's still there. Uh, but supposedly he's a CM Punk guy, so he could be gone soon, anyways. I mean, you
Like,
had that in Dalton Castle until you butchered the fuck out of it.
yeah, and I feel like those wrestlers, they like I said in my opening statement, they attempt to exist, but in the world of WWE in the main, it seems like that's not the direction that they're headed in.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because even Omos, I feel like there's a way to. It's surprising to me Omos hasn't held the championship. Like I don't know
Was he
how.
in 24/7 champ at one point in time? Maybe. Or we're
He
not
got
counting anymore.
man. The title's defunct, so and that's like the lowest of the tier. Like even the top dudes ain't bothered trying to run after that title. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't really count that. But Omos, he has to be probably one of the worst giants in current WWE and in all time WWE. And I don't even think he's like actually like that bad. Like I just feel like
Yeah,
he hasn't
and
had that
Great
moment.
Khali was pretty rough.
Yeah, like how you give us Kali and what tier is it? This shit is low tier, bro. It's the bottom of the pyramid. Like it's that bracket, like ground level. You feel me? That's your ground level. Anybody could have walked in there and got the 20. Peter Rosenberg held the 24/7 belt. Peter Rose, shout out to Hot 97, Peter Rosenberg, Michael K show. Rosenberg, I fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rosenberg.
You
But
had some cash from SNL. They were 24/7 champ from it too, huh?
who Michael Che or was it somebody else?
Might have been the other dude.
Man, like you got people from SNL winning the championship.
But who didn't win the 24/7 championship?
No, you want to know how real it was? Shorty Nikki Cross won the championship and threw it in the garbage, like
She gave it that Medusa treatment.
and missed the garbage too. Like this shorty did a no look miss. Bow, just left it on the floor. Like
Hey, old girl wrote her up about that. She's about to be a doctor in 2 years, anyways.
you said, nah, well, bro, is this the 24/7 championship? Moolah. It was a remix of if you remember the hardcore championship that could be defended anywhere, anytime. Mick Foley had came out to introduce a new title, and everybody thought it was gonna be the hardcore belt, and got greatly disappointed when they named it the 24/7 belt. And then the strap was green. It looked like a Green Bay Packers belt. With no disrespect to them, because fuck with the Packers, but
They had
nonetheless,
the ever trying to bring Crash Holly back.
yeah, man. Oh man, the resurrection. It's crazy. Like there's a lot that I feel like to me, I always say this, and I don't understand. Like maybe I'm just bugging out, right? But I really enjoyed how AEW like they use Sting the perfect way to me. Now I'm not saying you gotta have Undertaker and tag team matches. This whole little like Undertaker, like you just restricting the Undertaker to a dead man podcast. Like now he's comfortable with his retirement. I get that, but I feel like there's a place for like these former superstars to like still have a spot backstage and not wrestle as much. You know what I'm saying? Like they can be on screen characters. And Undertaker, I feel like I didn't like how he went out in the last few years. I understand that's the Vince era. We in the Paul Levesque era now, but I would like to
I,
see
I,
also legends done well in WWE.
I mean, a part of that probably could have been Taker choosing to not tell Vince no, because again, the Saudi stuff shouldn't have happened. That match with Goldberg in Australia shouldn't have happened. It should have after that Hell in a Cell with Triple H. It should have stopped right then and there.
That
Nothing
should,
against the match with AJ, but it should have stopped when they did the whole end of an era.
and then
But
this is you could prolong. Let's say like you extend Taker at this point. Now, if you want to keep him wrestling, why didn't you put him in with a younger talent, right? Like also at the time, I like what he was doing.
let
Bray
Bray Wyatt in the streak.
Wyatt. Yeah. And I like how they right before Bray passed, that whole Undertaker speaking to Bray, like that moment could have led to well, obviously, Bray passed, but just like moments like that was done well. And I feel like they need more moments like that. Like,
Well, once everyone gets back from vacation, well, I'm sure we'll get back to those little Easter eggs, especially with what we'll get into later on. But as we get back on topic, another match I want to go over, which I felt like was utterly unnecessary. Hook's back.
mm,
Just put him in a squash match right away, whatever, and then we're jumping right back into Jericho versus Hook.
I,
Speaking of Jericho,
yeah, I expect nothing less because the first thing that came to my mind is Hook. Does he even care about the championship? Does he even care about his father's legacy, getting the belt back?
well, he said he's coming for the smoke, but what they again to make things a little bit more better to have more continuity to it. Have Jericho in that squash match instead, and then have him start mouthing off. Have Hook come from the fans, put the pause on both of them, and then have Hook say, "I'm coming for the belt again." Done in that same amount of time. Because again, Hook got taken out by a baseball, got knocked out by a baseball in front of his pops. This is supposed to be a bad motherfucker. Don't have him come out and do a squash match and then do the usual generic bullshit. Have him come up to Jericho from Jump Street to reestablish him as that Stone Cold Killer. It's just the small things. Again, I'm sure it's obvious they're going to probably put the both of them or try to convince him to stay, whatever the case may be. But
So
again,
this is where a touch of Jericho isn't needed right here.
we're going to know real quick if Hook's staying or going or not. That's my hot take. Because if Jericho goes 2 over a Hook, then I'm almost certain Hook and Taz are going back to WWE.
That'd be crazy. It's been a
I'm
while.
almost certain of that.
It's been a while since Taz has been home.
I'm calling it. Both of them will go. And again, there is a chance you guys could mark your calendars, whatever, and timestamp for right now. We will hear "Survive If I Let You" one more time. We're gonna hear that heartbeat going to the flat line. You're gonna see the big orange 13 come up on that jumbotron, preferably at Barclays, just because I want to hear that New York crowd lose their absolute minds about Taz back in New York.
Mm, that'd be crazy.
Or again, it's only appropriate. Taz, much like The Rock, much like Roman Reigns, debuted at Survivor Series. Allegedly, Survivor Series is at the Garden this year. I'm just saying, it's
Mm,
right there potentially.
mm.
Can you imagine Taz and Hook at MSG Survivor Series?
That'd be turned. That'd be turned. Like you said, that music, the orange lights. Oh man, crowd gonna erupt for that one.
I got goosebumps already.
I think
But
they need to get out of AEW too. Everybody needs to run away from AEW. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now, man.
I wouldn't say everybody, but I'm genuinely curious to see Hook tear it up with the NXT crop they got right now.
Mm.
Just just the contrast the styles of even Mello versus Hook. I'd love to see it. Mello versus Elia or Elia versus Hook would be awesome as well. Or even Hook versus Braun.
That'd be interesting right there.
Just two bulls, one bigger than the other, but one ain't backing down for nothing.
That'd definitely be interesting right there.
But again, after the Hook stuff, they go to a backstage segment with Renee Paquette, where they somehow speak on the fact that starting this weekend there will be a tournament to determine the number one contender for the FTW Championship. And Hook says, "I'll fight anybody for it. Whoever wanted, come get it." You hear Siri comes in and with Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata says, "What about me?" Hook tells Shibata, "You can get it too." So again, I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup, but again, it's like it all just kind of screams Hook's gonna do some favors on the way out.
Mm, that's crazy.
But what we kind of say that segment was as basically Hook tells Shibata, "You can get it." In comes Samoa Joe, and basically Samoa Joe basically tells him, "The fuck happened to you? You're supposed to be big and bad, blah blah blah. You do all this and that." And then Hook tells Joe, "You really can get it."
Mm.
So again, there's a
Yeah, I
lot of stuff
remember.
coming up,
Samoa
and
Joe gave Hook his first loss, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, when he
So that
challenged for the heavyweight.
and for the FTW belt, but then as Joe leaves, Shibata types in on Siri. He's too big to be wearing a floral shirt. I thought that was funny as hell.
Yeah, that is. But Shibata versus Hook would be nice to see.
Teacher versus the student, right there.
I got Hook going over. How many participants in this tournament? No mention. It's just starting this weekend. Okay.
Yep.
So this weekend we'll get a clearer picture of what's going on.
I mean, it could have been announced on Twitter by now, knowing Tony Khan, but I think I've seen maybe one match at Hooks in. I didn't quite see who it was, but I know it starts this weekend.
Mm.
And then they had following that they had Tony Storm in a match against again I forget the lady's name, but again solid match whatever. Tony Storm wins. Serena Deeb's watching that match from the ramp. Tony walks up to her and starts mouthing off. Serena drops her right then and there, dead center, and then walks away. It's fine, I guess, but as entertaining as Tony Storm is, all Tony Khan is showing that he has no clue what he's doing with that division.
I feel. I mean, we've been saying this. He don't know what he's doing at all. Not just with that division at all.
And then following that, I believe they had another segment which was Roderick Strong hyping up his match against Will Ospreay for whatever belt Roderick has.
I'm still confused. The Intercontinental, like they got a
I,
Continental, they got an Atlantic.
I just know Roderick Strong got a belt,
Man,
but
wait for the
again,
last pay per view. That shit was crazy.
great promo by both. Ospreay touched on the fact on when Ospreay had a little stint in Ring of Honor back in the day. Roderick being his elder statesman didn't quite respect him back then, so it basically Ospreay told him, "When I beat you, you're either gonna respect me or I'm gonna beat the respect into you."
Mm.
And then Roderick basically told him, "You couldn't wipe my boots then, you can't wipe my boots now."
So this is Osprey's first belt.
It's looking like it, but again, this is you're gonna put an irrelevant belt on him just like you put an irrelevant belt on Okada.
What hopes that They, one looks strong as a
The,
champion,
the,
then
the name
elevate,
the name is supposed to make the belt,
right.
which is possible, but again, there's not. You either take big. You can't take guys from the main title saying onto them, which would be fine. But with all the belts that he has, I don't think he has the depth for all that.
I just don't understand the
Otherwise, half the
some
men are going to be Grand Slam champions by the end of the year.
just like I think we spoke about the Continental, the one Okada that came from the tournament.
I think Rogers might be a Ring of Honor belt, possibly.
I think the one Roderick has, that's the one that came from Orange Cassidy, right? That's the one Orange Cassidy used to hold.
Yeah.
Okay, that land.
So no, so yeah, no, so yeah, one is the Continental one, the other one is something Atlantic, I think, or I don't know what the fuck it's called now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the two belts.
Then you got the TNT Championship, which to me, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that one to me, the
Is that
TNT,
what's still a thing?
yeah.
Hmm.
Adam Copeland has that belt.
Oh, that's right.
That's what fucking bothers me. This is what I've been trying to tell you for weeks. We got Adam Copeland and Barbed Wyatt steel cage matches. Why? Does he unless he want
I forgot that set up the show.
unless he fucking wants that shit?
I forgot a little about that match.
Like let me be clear, unless these wrestlers want these things, unless y'all flat out want this madness, then go ahead. Have at it. But I'm telling y'all, it's not doing nothing for me. If I want to see a barbed wire steel cage match, I need the massive build for this. Like and like
I
I
mean,
need to see
I get it. Edge is having fun. Oh no, I remember 'cause that's when Buddy stole his wedding ring. I forgot about that.
no, and like it's kind of like a I would like kind of like remember when Triple H and Mick Foley used to go at it, and then they had their Hell in a Cell match.
Shit,
Like
do something simple like Austin and Booker T did at the fucking supermarket. Anything.
again, outside the ring segments. I've been saying it. AEW need to get on. But like you also said, they don't want to do anything that's gonna make them look like anything close to WWE, which that's
Ain't nothing
cool.
wrong with it.
Yeah,
Look what the fuck Matt Hardy did in Impact. Look what he's about to do in TNA.
that's what
And
I
no
mean.
one cares as long as you do it right. Do it justice.
And then I think there's just certain things that are pro wrestling, like, and that being that you gotta have characters, like even dudes like Bruno Sammartino, they might have just wore their real name, but there was like a fucking mystique behind the person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these were dudes that were known for wrestling. They were wrestlers. Like, you couldn't just fuck with these guys. Like, um, you go down the line
Look
outside of
at
Bruno.
Harley Race. So,
Yeah, Harley Race.
Haku, the one motherfucker you do not want to piss off.
Absolutely.
Certified.
Bob Backlund.
Another guy. You get on his bad side, he gonna rip your arm off and slap you with it.
William Regal never held WWE heavyweights gold, but still a menace.
That
A
and
menace.
look what his kid's doing in NXT right now.
Dempsey. Mm-hmm.
But onward to AEW, we go on to my favorite portion of the night, which was the contract signing of Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale. Now, I say it's my favorite because, like I told you off record, this was Willow's best promo by far. Bless her heart, she has been carrying this program. Where Mercedes has been severely lacking, Willow stepped her game up. Kudos to her. And again, but Mercedes cut an okay promo, whatever. She did touch on the fact of some of her accolades in WWE, which was a nice heel touch. Um, Willow clapped back saying they basically touched on the fact how their match with New Japan in San Jose, Mercedes didn't get hurt by Willow. Mercedes hurt herself. A clip had recently resurfaced of an angle of that match where Mercedes breaks her foot because she lost her grip and fell off the apron.
Mm.
So Willow's telling her, "You're blaming me for nothing or whatever, but I won that match. Then I'm gonna win that double or nothing." Mercedes comes around, starts talking her down again. Mercedes slaps her, goes for another slap. Willow picks her up, power bombs Mercedes through the table. Crowd goes insane. So again, this does kind of like make people question, because if Mercedes is healthy for this now, could we see more stuff happen next week in the go home? But on top of that, because of this segment is much better than where they started about a month ago, my question to you is, why couldn't they just held off on Mercedes' debut to hide Mercedes' shortcomings that we now know?
Mm. Cheap pops, hopes of reaction, social media clicks, engagements,
Then you
numbers.
look at then in hindsight, after big business, her numbers ain't popping no number nowhere.
Right. Which is why I think WWE didn't match the price he was asking for. They know
Because
the
I mean, they knew they made her, and unfortunately, she's slowly real. Either she's realizing that, or she's. I mean, I don't doubt she can figure it out on her own, but she's got to rest. She's got to work a lot harder than what she did in WWE.
also, I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of like who you in the ring with is gonna really help you elevate the views, right? Like, so if you go to YouTube and you start typing in anything almost with the Rock in it, you know the views is gonna be high. So if you in the same segment with the Rock, that's impactful for your career. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Mercedes on her own, the numbers aren't showing that. Okay, this is groundbreaking.
But
This is
here's the other issue with that topic. The numbers for Mercedes Monet aren't popping. However, if you type in Sasha Banks, you get a whole different spectrum.
that's what they know. That's what the fans know. That's what they digested. Also, this is again what I'm gonna say. Whoever made up the boss character, that was
Again,
WWE.
that was her and Dusty Rhodes.
There you go. Imprints of NXT. Things that a lot of these promotions don't have. They don't have the farming system, and if they do, like AEW has the 30 years of knowledge, 100 years of knowledge, but it's not being utilized. The trust, they're not giving the keys to somebody and saying, here's the roster, here's the young talent. Go do your thing. Go mold them for the next 5 years. I don't see that. I don't see it
Help
at
them
all.
unlock their hidden potential.
Yes, I don't see that. They just kind of letting them figure it out on the fly. Like, all right, well, here's
It's
your
not it's not
match.
even it's not even that. The first 3 years they find whoever had a viral move on the internet and signed them.
Yeah,
That's all it was. That and whoever was friends with the Bucks, someone that knew the Bucks.
yeah. I mean, it really
Chances
was
are, chances are, if you did one show at PWG or GCW, you were gonna get a look from AEW, guaranteed.
a la Jade Cargill. She was discovered by Mark Henry, right? Bodybuilding. Some people were getting looks because of what you're mentioning, who they know. So, which
And
that.
and then you link her up instantly with Cody Rhodes and Shaquille O'Neal.
But again, this is where I think, right? That's where the misfire was at. Mark Henry did the job. He found the talent. His job is to find the talent. He's a fuck. You know what we call that in sports? That's a scout. He's a fucking
That's a
scout.
recruiter.
Yeah, recruiter. He's, you know what I'm saying? His job wasn't
Just
to
like what Jerry Briscoe used to do for Vince back in the day, just like what other folks used to do back in the
Jim
day.
Ross. Ross used to do it. Found Brock. So it's like that part. He did his job. Who's training
It's
her?
exactly.
Cody can't train. Look. Cody can't have every job.
Well,
He's
again, that kind of my point earlier in the show was Cody wanted to focus on that. The crowd wanted him in the ring. That's where the disconnect was.
I wanted him
Cody
in the
was,
ring. I wanted him with the world championship. I didn't care if it was face or heel. I wanted him with the damn belt he deserved.
and he wanted to, like I said, show us the Darby Allins, show us the Jade Cargill, show us the Ricky Starks, show us the MJF, show us the Swerve Strickland.
In what universe does somebody make? And this is what I get upset about. Like if you are like a physical dude in wrestling, even in video games, right? Anybody that makes the damn organization will put the belt on themselves. Anybody,
Not Cody, apparently.
apparently.
Much like you and I talked about WWE, there's always a plan for the plan. He saw it. Everyone else said, "Fuck your plan. You're supposed to be here to make money and have fun. We're the NWO."
Dog, yeah. And so what you're saying is for people that might not understand, if he wins the title in AEW, finishing the story in WWE isn't that special. It's not the same. He's gonna,
No, that's two different situations.
yeah.
Those have no relation to each other whatsoever.
I think it does because now it doesn't have the same drive. He might not like he'll always want to win, but now he got a different storyline driving AEW.
Here's why one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. It's because unless AEW was rebranded and somehow purchased the title from WWE and it was called WCW, yes, you can argue that because Dusty had ties to WCW. Dusty has nothing to do with AEW. However, a story was finished prior to that when Cody became the I think second or first or second father son duo to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship when he beat Nick Aldis.
Mhm. But I
So
personally,
again,
if he see, so yeah, if your mind you feel his story was to always go back and finish.
yeah, and
I
he said
same thing
that was
AEW went different.
much like Mercedes told Sports Illustrated. The plan ultimately is to go back to WWE.
Okay, but she's won gold in WWE, so she'll
But
probably be going
but
back to the spotlight.
she's told many folks
Always did
before
it
her
like
debut in
that.
big business that the only why she's there in AW, make a couple paychecks, stack some bread, dick around for a little bit. Because in her mind, WWE is always going to be there, which probably is because she has a fan base there.
So you think
She'll always have a fan base there.
do you think the Bucks ever jumped to WWE?
I think Cody will try to mend an olive branch to them and Hangman, but as long as Punk's there, they'll probably say no. Kenny, I
Mm,
can see him going once his contract ends.
mm,
But because Punk has mended the bridge with them in WWE, they'll never go.
I can see
They'll be
that.
begging New Japan to take him back.
That's where maturity kicks in. They would have to be mature. Feel like CM Punk showed maturity in his sense. He mended whatever fences he had to do to get his ass back in WWE and collect them checks from that company. So
And sometimes it's as simple as, look, I did dumb shit. You were dumb shit. We're too old for that shit now. We good?
yeah, and CM
It's that
Punk's
simple.
definitely CM Punk's definitely already. I mean, he probably won't be the one to get over it, but I would say in WWE, he's gonna keep it professional. I don't think so. The ball be in their court, like you said, they won't want to go if it's on their end. I think CM
But
Punk
but
will do.
but I think even to this day, Punk probably is more willing to have that talk more so than them
I mean,
because they'll
from
tell him, look, we left all this money on the table over
Yeah,
here.
from the accounts, he wanted to do a storyline with them, right? All for this Heat. So I mean, yeah,
Because with the story that's leading into Double Nothing with Elite versus AW, can you imagine how much bigger this would have been if it was the Young Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry versus FTR, CM Punk, and Kenny Omega? Could you imagine how much bigger that would have been?
what's that match that they like to do? That's like the war
It's gonna
game.
be It's gonna be anarchy in the arena. So
Oh,
it's basically just gonna be them fighting all over the stadium.
okay, that's with the music playing and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's basically what it's gonna be. Now, had it been that Wargasaw match instead, can you imagine? Like I said, Okada, Perry, Bucks on one side, on the other side, FTR, and standing side by side, Kenny Omega and CM Punk. That thing would have sold out overnight.
yeah, of course.
You could let that thing go 20 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. That crowd is going to be lively minute one as the final bell. But two guys said, "Oh, he hurt my feelings. He said we can't run a target. He said we're children. Let's go barge in his dressing room. Fuck that guy.
I
Let's
mean,
fuck up his travel. Fuck that guy."
like I got a split opinion on that because it's like, to be fair, in Miami Heat, Pat Riley had a disagreement with Shaq and then sent his ass to the Phoenix Suns. He ain't give a fuck who Shaq was. I don't care what you did with Kobe, the Lakers. You're not gonna come in here and tell me what to do. All right, watch this, Shaq.
I mean, this kind of would have been more so like. I mean, we kind of did get some situation like with more so like with Draymond Green and Jordan Love or Poole.
Paul, yeah, when he dropped him, yeah.
Poole, they had more than one fight. Draymond telling him to be cool. Poole saying, "I'm supposed to be the guy. I'm boom. I'm this and this."
Man, I'm 30
Poole gets
points,
shipped out.
man.
Draymond's still there.
Yeah.
Now, granted, both their careers have gone not as well. They both had hoped, but still, it's like had they had a sit down talk, both probably still be Golden State. And Jordan Poole probably still could have been the guy that was
They'd
poised to
probably been
replace
in the
Steph
playoffs,
Curry.
right? They'd probably been in the playoffs right
They'll
now.
probably still be there right now.
Right now. Game 6, 7 right now. Crazy.
But again, it's just young minds versus guys that have been around the block that know the game, trying to pop game to the young guys, and they're going, "You can't tell us what to do."
It's insane.
But we'll
You
wrap things up real quick with the main event, which was Okada versus Dax. The match was it was what it was, whatever. I don't think anyone really cared. That I think the crowd was honestly fairly dead for Okada, which kind of surprised me. But then after the match, whatever, they did a little pull apart. They did a little thing for Cash since he was found not guilty in a very cringeworthy promo. And in that pull apart stuff, we learned that the man who has adamantium in his bones, the man who cannot be killed, Deadpool himself, Darby Allin is back, folks. Broke his
man,
butt 2 months ago, got run over by a bus supposedly a couple weeks ago. Now he's back.
he's incredible.
And even he stated right after that he's nowhere near 100%. He's here to defend the name of AEW, which, again, I don't got a problem with it. However, this motherfucker was on death's door a couple months ago. Where's Ricky Starks? Where's other guys that you guys could have utilized for this? Why do you have to keep going back? Again, Darby's a big name over there. Nothing against that. But you have 200 men on your roster. You're recycling the same guys over and over.
I'm not gonna lie, Darby Allen, he blows my mind because as you telling this story, um, rest in peace to the two people I know. I'm not gonna say their names, but I know two people that died getting hit by New York City bus. So the fact that he got hit by a bus and just shows up like what a month later, less than a month later is crazy to me.
It was less than 3 weeks ago, I think, when it happened.
It's crazy. That's insane. And then he went to
Yeah,
the Broadway show right after that though. Like it was mind blowing.
yeah.
Mind.
I said, I think he's like Wolverine or like Deadpool. He can't feel no pain. I'm convinced now.
The man absorbs pain and regenerates. It's insane. It's-
But I mean, my thing is like, again, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Darby, for the love of God, please don't do anything stupid in this match. Please, just this one time.
I think this is where see AEW, they say they don't care about certain shit, but I think they secretly care about certain shit. Like you would why would you bring back Darby Allen so quickly if you didn't care about getting the pop, getting the ratings, getting the draw? You care about those
Now,
things.
I get it. Him, Swerve, they're both from the Seattle area. I get it, but let the man rest up. I mean, shit, it took you guys 4 years to give Moxley one vacation. And also, we just recently found out that at the New Japan Show recently, Eddie Kingston is out of the match because he has a broken leg. And Lord knows Eddie needed a vacation.
Mm. Broken leg
But,
is tough.
but that was dynamite.
Man.
And also, I thought it was funny how, based on the numbers by the illustrious Russellnomics, the numbers were well under the tread line. So definitely a career, one of the worst numbers wise for them. But as a part of the show, I thought it was one of their best shows. Actually, the best show. So
I mean, this is wrestling. Wrestling is subjective. Like personally, there's things that I enjoy that my wifey doesn't enjoy, that my friends don't enjoy. So it doesn't have to be, oh, she didn't enjoy it because she's a girl. Some of my dudes don't like some storylines that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Carlito's one of them. Carlito messing with the Judgment Day. A bunch of people that I know, they're like, oh, whatever. I kind of think that shit is funny. I'm like, "Man, this shit is type funny to me. Like he
right,
he's trying to like weasel his way in there. Like so everything's
but
subjective.
I'm just saying it was fascinating at the amount of love that Dynamite was getting this past Wednesday on the internet. I hardly saw a bad thing about it. It was hard to find a bad thing about it. So to see the numbers that low, I was like, the
Well, you know what it
fuck.
is? It might have a effect. Hopefully for them, it might have an effect next week. It might show in next week's ratings. You know, all the
'Cause this is
buzz
one of those things
surrounding
where
this week's
like
episode.
this is one of those shows. Yeah, you had NBA playoffs. Yeah, you got NHL playoffs. Baseball's in full swing right now, and that's what I said earlier. Is the damage already done? Is it too late for them? Because this was them firing all cylinders, and this didn't even get a pulse.
Yeah,
Like this is alarming, especially like I said when there's no deal locked in yet.
I think that's what hurts
Warner
AEW
Brothers,
a little
Warner
bit.
Brothers has had their big press cards announcing their big contracts, whatever. Not a peep at an AEW side.
That
Like
that
this
hurts
is
AEW getting moved.
worrisome.
Like to be honest, when they're moved from a night, like let's say you say NHL hockey or whatever was going on, they moved them from that night. I'm not looking for them on a Saturday night or whatever other night they scheduled to come on. That
Think about it. WWE has to do a Monday Night Football every week. They know they're going to beat them, but they're still going to show up.
but they don't got to get
These,
moved.
these,
They don't got to get moved from them because they're not on the same network. That's what hurts AEW.
oh, that's right, because the NBA plays on TNT, huh?
Yup.
I forgot about that.
And NHL was on TNT as well. Even NBA was getting
And
moved
also, and
from
also, I think both are also on HBO Max too, which
who?
also is a partnership. They're both also on HBO Max, which also
Yeah.
has a partnership with Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Yet AEW does not yet. So again, these little pieces right here is very alarming for them.
WWE just started yeah, to your point, they just started advertising one of the movie the Iron Claw that was on HBO Max. They started advertising that on Raw, I believe.
Hmm.
Yeah, so WWE, they moving fast. They moving quick and swift.
Now, are they moving fast, or is everyone else seeing what one side's doing, and they look over here and they see that stack of cash WWE's piling up as growing by the second? They're going, "Hey, can we get in on that real quick?"
I mean, it's hard to ignore the trajectory of what's going on. Like when you got Triple H in charge, and then from the looks of it, The Rock can come in and be like he can have input too. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
And not only that, the next NXT PLE is at the UFC Apex.
Mm, in Vegas, right?
They're in UFC's territory now. You have Dana White promoting WWE shit now.
Yeah,
Like you said before, this ain't no fight no more. It's we have an obvious big league and we have AEW.
yeah,
And somewhere in the middle you got TNA, you got MLW, NWA, and the States.
yep. And then
But
they gotta schedule their shows around WWE and UFC and everything else. WWE concern, like you said, WWE could go on whatever night.
and now, like I said, you got Netflix handing them a check.
They doing a power move right there, and
But
also,
again, they worked for it.
yeah. What
Check
did
the
you want
resume.
them? Y- The money that they're generating, it's like maybe if the reports are true, Warner Brothers could be happy with AEW, but they'll be ecstatic with WWE. They'll be blown away. They might be happy over here.
The biggest thing aside from Cody CM Punk that legitimately hurt AEW was Vince leaving.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
Because
Indirectly, Tony Khan, you wanted this so bad and it happened. It happened.
everybody came to you, every big name still wants to come to you. However, now they're joining you for their personal reasons. They know you if they're internationally renowned, you gonna fork over the check.
Yeah.
But as far as making you money, that ain't their job. You, and that's how they see it.
And I mean, I'm not necessarily mad at the because also it's you got to do what's best for yourself, your brand, your family. So if going to WWE right now means in this 1 to 3 years, you're not gonna get the bag, you're gonna be on NXT, then
I
bet
mean,
on yourself.
you'll get a bag, but you're basically joined to the head of WWE for 200 days out of the year on average.
Yep. More you gotta be on the road more appearances, ready to go.
And if you want the belt and the belt money, you sign up for a few more days on top of that. But the bag gonna be nice. You're gonna work for that money, but you're not gonna see the family. But we'll make you a star all over the world. Your name will be in lights. Everybody all over the world will know who you are. They will know your name.
I think NXT gets it does it obviously gets the credit, but like from a casual standpoint, people don't really understand the impact that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have had on
Well, no,
NXT.
I think they do. It's just when Vince slaughtered them, when the AEW went match days with them, they lost a lot of ground, and they made up a lot of ground since the pandemic was lifted. But they're trying to go back to how they used to be. But the main problem is now the new formula that they've since gone with is instead of getting independent guys because AEW done got them all,
NIL.
they're resorting to NIL athletes.
Hmm.
So yes, you're going to get more athletic guys. You're going to get more Braun Breakers. You're going to get more Tiffany Strands. You're going to get more Bianca Belairs, which is fine. But it's going to be a lot harder, or they're going to have to work that much harder to create their own identity. Whereas, opposed, you find an indie guy that's athletic, like an Angelico, like for sake conversation, like a Teddy Hart, who can do it all, who is athletic, who is nice on the mic, but they're not signed to a major company. And that, or another name that is bound to appear sooner or later, a Jacob Fatu. Personalities like that, gimmicks like that, you can't create in a WWE factory. You gotta cut your teeth on the road doing that yourself. You gotta have certain experiences. You gotta go through certain trials and tribulations to find said identity.
I could feel that. I could feel that. That's why I respect when some people leave. They gotta leave to get battle tested. They gotta understand themselves. They gotta find themselves. So I'm definitely not mad at that concept. I just feel some people that benefit from the WWE factory, like they just have that they inserted like Carmelo Hayes, right? I feel like for him, that's probably a perfect character for him right there. Could he be more gritty and more edgy if he hit the indies? Hell yeah, for sure. He'd probably find himself even more. But I
Well,
think
folks forget
mhm,
he's a product of the Indies. So he wasn't in the Indies very long.
mm.
So
Trick
he
Williams
got
too?
Trick was a college athlete. I think he had some work at NFL too, if I'm not mistaken. But and again, former athlete, much like a Baron Corbin, former NFL football player.
Mhm. And that's what I'm
So
saying. I'm not mad at that because I want to see like you see how AEW want to be different. I don't mind
mm-hmm.
seeing WWE do different. Like, okay, yeah,
AEW is getting all the independent guys, which is fine. WWE is getting all of these legitimate athletes that
and
have a certain charisma that can go in the ring. Like, look again, as much as she's kind of hated on now, look how quick Ronda figured it out. Look how quick Kurt Angle figured it out.
I was just about to say that people want to diminish these people that it might not have been their dream to be a wrestler, but they pick this shit up quick and they're good at it. So I think that shit doesn't matter sometimes. Like, yeah, it sucks to find out this person doesn't have the same love that we all had growing up and wanted to hold that championship at WrestleMania and all of that. But at the end of the day, if somebody's talented and gifted, shit, and they make money, they put asses in seats. You can't deny that. You gotta put that. There's always room for that.
I'm just saying right now. If Jason Kelsey pulls up at the Royal Rumble, I'm buying his T-shirt that night.
Man,
Let Aaron Donald pull up at a Royal Rumble and start spear motherfuckers. I'm there.
I mean, again, who was it? Was Bam Bam Bigelow versus the refrigerator, right?
Lawrence Taylor.
Okay. Like you see, like that, and that had a good build up. It wasn't like what I'm saying. For me as a kid watching that and remembering back now, I wasn't mad at the match. It was cool.
No, but again, but for those that watch Bam Bam, and again, prior to Asbury Park in Jersey, God rest his soul, that man was special.
He was wild. I
Like
was
again,
favorite
now
wrestler.
again, the reason why I got so much love for Bam Bam, again, I love his work in WWE, I love his work in Japan, I love his work in ECW, but in my opinion, now we can dispute this whatever you like, but in my opinion, when you look at the typical the standard for a big man, he is the cream of the crop. Some folks got Kane, but for me, it's Bam Bam. Name me another
Him and
guy.
Vader for me.
I even got Bam Bam way above Vader, to be honest,
Mm.
because again, aside from maybe Ivar when healthy, find me another guy that can move like Bam Bam did, who was nice on the
Bam
mic
Bam
like Bam Bam,
cool.
who could do it all.
He was one of the first big men I see doing a moonsault, doing
Yeah,
crazy.
like you is too damn big to be doing this shit.
Yeah.
And just looking cleaner than like when Rey Mysterio does it. What the fuck?
Like the only other guys his size walking around like King Kong Bundy, Akeem, um,
They couldn't move like that.
yeah.
Bubba Ray Dudley couldn't move like that.
Boss man wasn't moving like that, yeah.
Big Show damn sure couldn't move like that. Mark Henry, he'll tell you, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah, I can't. That's why like the only one that and I could see why you say Bam Bam definitely more agile than Vader. Vader was more of a powerhouse, and then he'll bust out that half moon sword towards the end of a match, or you know what I'm saying, drop a Vader bomb. So
And Bam Bam, he'll fly. Now again, no spoilers, but for those that have not seen a Jacob Fatu match, look up his work in MLW. All his matches are on YouTube for free. You will not be disappointed.
I think I first started watching him when his feud with Hammerstein was picking up
Oh, when Conquering versus Dynasty.
in MLW. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's when I first got put onto both of them. And there was rumblings that one or the other might go to WWE, and then it was ultimately shot down.
Yeah, because first I guess Vince wanted Hammerstone, but he really wasn't fucking with it just yet. And then everyone was like, "Look at Jacob. His family is WWE, but he got the record. Look what this motherfucker's doing right now."
And
Again,
I guess timing is
the
everything,
greatest
though.
moonsault in the game.
Timing is definitely everything, though, because right now is the perfect timing for Bloodline to bring in their family. Like it really feels like like I'm watching BMF, the show BMF, right? And
Mhm.
it be real family vibes, like bro, like we putting on our family, bro. We bringing in.
I'm glad you put it that way because it's like when he finally debuts, the black sheep of the family is home.
Mm,
And
and
to
y'all know.
everyone else who's in his way, I'm sorry in advance. Just get the fuck out the way.
Mm. So let's get it. All right. So now that we on this, because I was texting you this, and I think this would be the perfect time for Jimmy or Jacob to debut at Saudi.
Again, Jimmy, I still feel it's too soon. I would love to see Jacob debut, but again, with his history, I'm Saudi could just say like he's not allowed in just yet.
Mm.
So
Now the
that
reason
again,
I
so
say that because if I got Jay, the way I see it right now, unless they pull a surprise, in which they did tonight, we're gonna get into the rest of what happened on tonight on SmackDown, but we're gonna just jump around a few topics. Nia Jax beat Jay Cargill tonight via disqualification. So unless something of that magnitude happens on Raw or next week's SmackDown, as to where Gunther wins and or Randy Orton wins, I got Jay and Tama meeting up at the finals with a
now
with a
if that's the
save.
case, I wouldn't be incredibly mad about it because again, the bloodline obviously holding court. Jay or Cody bestowed Jay as the guy that's gonna get Raw over that hump or whatever. I'm cool with it for the time being, but it'll probably be Tama winning by way of the bloodline, by way of Solo,
Mm.
by way of Tonga Loa. It'll be them two for a minute running a rough shot, and then uh the tribal chief will probably bestow him as King Tama, and then like I told you earlier via text that they may touch on father son duo to win King of the Ring, or Haku may come out and bestow him king.
Which I'm glad that they mentioned tonight on SmackDown. Um, King Haku, they mentioned the history. I'm just always glad to hear that. It's little nugs like that that used to be ignored before. I've never heard or at least from WWE in recent memory, heard the acknowledgement of King Haku in recent
I've
memory.
never heard them mention Haku at all, or even his main WCW. Never. I could be wrong, but I I can't recall ever them mentioning it at all.
And Corey Graves does a great job at emphasizing Haku. Like when he says Haku's name, he says it with some fear, like "Oh, King Haku." Like
Because again, aside from uh, Harley Race, Haku, this man, and this is certified in court documents, whatever, or allegedly by story, he bit a cop's ear off, bit a nose off. This man is an absolute savage. This man is the certified BMF.
Haku Tyson, right there, the original
I think Tyson might be scared of Haku if you really want to
man.
split hairs.
So it was definitely fire to see them acknowledge that. Again, just to jump around, since we talk about Tama Tonga versus LA Knight. Um, I felt this was pretty clear cut. It went how I expected it to go. Uh, LA Knight focused his attention on. You see, this is where in story they made LA Knight look like a bozo. He took his eye off the prize. You know what I'm saying? Tonga ain't even throw no. He ain't even do nothing. Tonga didn't even do nothing to LA Knight. He was just checking on his brother, and then he want to come out jumping with a baseball slide kick to Tonga. As soon as he goes back in, that's it. It's over. How you felt about that match?
I mean, I thought it was what it was for the most part. Like I said, we all had a feeling who was going to win that one, and yeah, it's just pretty clear cut. I mean, again, Bullet's going to run strong going into Saudi. They're the flavor of the month.
I think we kind of called this where we seen Randy Orton and Carmelo
And
hit. I
it's
mean,
something at LA Knight. Again, it's obvious that they're not giving up on him just yet. But again, his time will come.
I kind of like the little. It looks like they build into a little rivalry with him and Carmelo. They had a backstage segment. They going back and forth. I think I like
Carmelo been talking a lot of shit, and I love it.
yeah, and LA Knight. I feel like I like the way he combats him. Like you know what I'm saying. They did well together, right there. Randy Orton goes over on Carmelo, so we're gonna see Tom and Randy.
And this is one that I've been salivating for.
Nah,
Once
they had a good
I
match.
was announced, and I even said it on this show too. This is one that folks do not want to miss.
Nah, they had a good match. I enjoyed that. You can't beat it when you put Randy Orton in the ring with somebody that got good athleticism. It's always gonna put on for a great match right there.
But like you said, the next match will be what? Tama Tonga and Randy Orton.
Yep. Nah, that'll be interesting. I don't think they're gonna let.
Again, I've been waiting for this one for years. I've wanted this match since the Gorillas of Destiny were a thing in Bullet Club.
Oh,
This is again, as Tony Khan would say, this is a dream match.
Tama and Randy.
Uh huh.
Mm,
Gun stun versus the RKO if they let Tama bust out a gun stun.
mm. It looked like I don't know what's the name of his finisher right now, but yeah, it looks like
It's it's what the it's like something like a flatliner, right?
yeah.
So in New Japan, he had something similar called Valena, but what it was he would jump on you, give you a body scissors, and then drop back, give you a DDT. I don't know if he's still gonna try to do that or whatever, but again, I would prefer that one because again, he's already used it before. I don't see the flatliner one sticking around for too long. But again, this man has an arsenal as long as Jericho's. You name it, he could probably do it.
You seen the backstage segment with early on with the bloodline where I told you Tama was acting like a little rat. He's man, Tama's a funny dude for that. I'm not gonna lie.
I tell you, that's a wild animal right there.
his tendencies right now. I'm watching him. I'm catching on to all his little tendencies that he's doing. He a funny dude.
Yeah. Again, like folks are just scratching the surface with him.
To open up Smackdown tonight, we have rumors and rumbling that Bianca Belair and Montez Ford might be expecting a child. So
Now, Angelo Dawkins has been attempting to debunk that by laughing at anybody that posts that. So the jury's out on that.
then we
But for
open
those
up
that may not know, Montez Ford, someone spotted that on his IG above that he put, I guess, father of three or whatever. He put three kids on the thing instead of the two that were previously there. That's led to the speculation. And then Docs just started just retweeting everything with a whole bunch of laughing emojis or whatever. So we don't know.
going in. They started off with Bianca Belair. I guess WWE was playing into look right now. As of right now, I'm on Montez Twitter. He says father of 10. He said F you, Nick Cannon. I'm catching up. I'm screaming. So
So
they
I mean,
played,
it could have been Ted to have a little bit of fun today.
yep. And WWE playing into it. You know what I'm saying? They started off the show with Bianca and Tiffany Stratton. They
But
put a
but also on that note, I find it funny because I don't know if you watched the Pat McAfee show. Anytime Pat McAfee introduces AJ Hawk, he introduces him as father of 10,
that's funny.
and AJ only got like 3 or 4 kids.
They go crazy on him.
So that could have just been a little bit of jocularity. But again, regardless, if the president congrats, if it's just jokes, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I told my wife, yeah, I was like, I got a little theory, you know what I'm saying? I was like, they might have been having fun with the fans and people gonna tune into SmackDown to see if Bianca would have had to give up her spot, give up the titles, you know, a number of things they would have tuned in for. And they started off the show with Bianca. Boom. So I'm like, it might be something there. You know what I'm saying? It might be. I thought her and Tiffany Stratton had a great match. WWE.
That's going to be a rivalry I'm going to enjoy for the next 10 years or however long they're both around. They have incredible chemistry. Again, that pairing alone is special. But on topic of that, do you have a chance to catch up on the little scuttlebutt that of hot water that TV shop was caught in the last couple of days?
Nah.
So there's a video. I don't know if it was her TikTok or whatever, but long story short, she clipped the audio from another video. But basically, it's her turning around, giving her a clothesline into the corner. But as she's turning, you just hear the word "black bitch." So immediately, folks are like, "Oh, Tiffany Stratton's a racist."
Mm.
The
Now,
video, the original video had surfaced about a couple of times after that broke. So I'm just like, all right, internet is wild per usual. But again, just
was
it,
it a video with
I,
no
I,
edit? Really, her like,
it
cause
didn't sound like her voice.
no, okay, yeah. So they might
I mean,
be re.
but again, internet. Even if again, assuming she's not a racist or whatever, it's just for jokes. Just let the fucking jokes be jokes. They're
Mm,
funnier that way. You don't gotta be sensitive. Not everything constitutes cancel culture. It's
right, right.
okay. If stuff was really an issue, she wouldn't fucking be there.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Um, again though, that match they did great storytelling. Bianca playing off, hurting her leg from last week. Tiffany attacking that leg again this week. It looked like Bianca was going to lose the match, but she ultimately came out on top. And then
Again, her selling has only gotten better over the years.
tremendous.
Like
There was
again,
a match where I thought, okay, it was one of those you had to watch to really see who was gonna win. But the way they played this, I want to go into little on, jump into later on. Nia Jax versus Jade. We we all kind of thought they was gonna give us Jade versus Bianca. They pulled the pivot on us. They didn't let Bianca lose, but they made Jade lose via DQ. So she didn't lose in a way that she got pinned or tapped out, she still looked strong. She was whipping ass and got DQ'd.
So when the rematch happens, you can say you never beat me.
Never beat me. Which also it keeps this drawn out because we want to see Bianca and Jade, and like I told you, they got us salivating at the mouth right now, foaming, waiting for this to happen. But what they did right here with Nia Jackson, Jade too, is we got to remember they had that Royal Rumble moment, so they're not done. And this is a good test of strength for Jade, and they've been making Nia Jax still look strong. If they're gonna put over Jade at the end, Nia Jax has still been looking strong because Jade got to turn up the intensity to to pick up and deal with Nia. She's been kicking all these other girls around like nothing. Kick, boom. You know what I'm saying? With Nia, she's scrapping like it's a scrap. It's a okay. So I like what they
Much
doing with them two.
much like with Mello, much like with Tiffany, don't rush a good thing.
Yeah.
It'll naturally run its course. If anything, they're only going to age like a fine wine. They will get better.
Or
Just
even like
just wait till you get the complete product.
yep. It maybe not the same circumstance because we've seen it before, but with the Gunther and Ilya, we thought we was gonna see Ilya and Gunther in the King of the Ring tournament. They did a pivot on us with that as well.
Or just with the with those three names, just look at Gunter NXT versus Gunter during that IC title run. Two different guys. Both were good, but this later one was a lot better.
Way more seat, way more
So
pop.
again, it's okay to let that stew simmer just a little bit longer.
Yep. Um. So we had the contract signing, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes. This disappointed me. Yeah. I give them one thing though. The
Swamp ass.
creativity, Swamp. The creativity for uh Logan Paul to pull that maneuver made his character seem like, all right, that was some veteran shit right there. But I don't like the tease of them saying Cody's gonna win double champion, Grand Slam champion. They holding the United States belt as hostage right now, which it makes sense.
I mean, like I said, that's one thing. It's like, why tease it to us, knowing damn near that's not what's going to happen? I mean, that's a Vince move right there.
Hmm.
Like, I get it, folks want the belt off of Logan Paul. Is Cody the guy to do it? Not likely, but okay, fine. Don't talk about that shit to begin with. It was unnecessary. If it's just for Cody's belt, that's fine. Just focus on that shit. You don't got to do the extra because you know what? It makes us do this. Means we fucking hate it.
I mean, and I think, yeah, and that's why I like from Logan Paul's standpoint, the way he cleared it up from the character, I'm like, okay, I could dig it because when he did come out, in my standpoint, I didn't feel like he wanted to put his title on the line. I felt like he wanted to challenge when they said, "Oh, this is what Triple H." Who said it? It was Adam Pearce. Oh, we found a new challenger for. I mean,
Nicholas.
Nick Aldis. We found a new challenger for your undisputed championship. That was it. We found the new challenger for your championship. And then Logan Paul's music plays. That's it. I didn't take that like, oh, they're gonna be fighting for the United States belt. Then it became this champion versus champion thing.
And then Cody tweeting two belts. Now, granted, yes, that is a vague statement in hindsight, but it's still it's like you're defeating the purpose of planting the seeds. You're
Yeah, I didn't
overcompensating.
yeah, I didn't like that. That's why I like Logan Paul's character approach tonight, where it's like, bro, I didn't say that, bro. I didn't say I
Yeah.
my title. Now I'm coming for yours. Yes. I'm not signing this. You trying to swindle me right now. So I get that, but it just felt weird though. Like it felt so weird. It's just like, and then Cody's like, well, yeah, I'll put my title on the line. It's like, yeah, you're a fighting champion, but you just look like a buffoon right now.
Between the two of them, you know what I would have preferred?
What's that?
You have the final blow off with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens for the U.S. belt, And instead of announcing Nick Aldis, announced Logan Paul. Aldis gets interrupted by one song, Voices.
Mm.
Just give us Randy and Cody and Saudi. They would appreciate that a lot better.
Just I mean, even if they wanted to go Logan Paul and Cody, I suggested that the fight ended a draw somehow. Like they have a crazy moment where something happens and they both get counted out. No, the title doesn't change hands if y'all wanted to put both belts on the line. But the feeling that they pulled today, it was just it wasn't it. It wasn't it.
Yeah, it did neither one of them any good.
Nah. And then from the perspective of just the United States belt in itself, Logan Paul doesn't need it.
I mean,
At this
he should have dropped he should have dropped it at Mania, honestly. Because again, what else can he do with it?
and the with the people
Unless
he's in the
unless
ring
he's
with,
gonna drop it, unless he's dropping it to Owens or Randy at SummerSlam, there's what's the point of having the belt right now?
and then what you said. So we got two pay-per-views before SummerSlam. Oh, two PLEs. We got
Oh, it's this one and Clash
Class, and then Money in the Bank in
and this one.
Toronto in July.
So three then if you count the King of the
Yeah,
Ring.
we count Saudi, then yeah, three leading up into SummerSlam. We got Saudi, which is King of Queens. Then we got Clash, which is happening in June. And we got Money in the Bank in Toronto.
And then SummerSlam in August.
So we got time, y'all. We got time. Let's like my man Razor likes to say, let's not we can let it brew. Let's not rush nothing here. You know what I'm saying? We can let it marinate, y'all.
Again, much like the situation with Cody, and it's like both of them are at a certain threshold or ceiling that there's not a lot much you can do with them right now. You're very limited until you can find another alternative. This match is fine, but with all due respect, you got to get the belt off of one of them to make the match just a little bit more palatable, in my opinion.
This is far left, but since now I'm thinking time, Bobby Lashley could come back, get the belt
Lashley
off
would have been
Logan Paul.
Lashley could have been a nice, decent opponent for Cody and Saudi.
And in this time period, also, Carmelo Hayes could be having all these good matches, right? But what he's been doing, losing.
Well,
And then him and
I
Bobby
get it.
finally have that moment. They have their match, and we can see what happens from there as well. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of directions we could do with these. I would say what 3 months? Yeah, 3 months.
So what you're saying is, with this thing, we got to the bone on the rib. We got to go on to the next piece of meat now.
Yep. Yep. Basically, yeah. They setting up because we know right now this PLE the belt is gonna stay on Cody unless something crazy happens. Something wow.
That'd be bold,
That would be bold.
but it didn't happen with Roman. And I, if I'm Cody, I'm feeling some type of way that happens to him. I'm feeling some real type of way. Like,
And then it'll defeat everything, right? I mean, the purpose of that belt was to take it off part time or to put arguably Logan Paul. He's not at every show that I know.
but again, he doesn't need to be. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's obvious we're not gonna see him until SummerSlam, which would be in his hometown. But again, like, unless we're gonna get Logan versus Randy or KO, then what else? Who else can you match him up against? Do you really want to keep the belt on Logan Paul for a full year through possibly two WrestleManias?
Nah.
Like again, like now again, if it makes sense, I'm here for it. But again, as of right now, there's not a whole hell of a lot you can do with him right now because he doesn't need the belt in general.
That's why I think the one belt that always touches Bobby Lashley's hands is the United States belt, and I feel like before he had the WWE World Heavyweight one, he had the United States one, and I think he didn't do bad with that one. That was the design he
Well,
had too, right? That belt.
now, he had that belt for predominantly before he had the ECW belt, but when he was U.S. champion, he was still very green. But also, he had the luxury of working with Kurt Angle, Benoit, Big Show, Undertaker, Batista. He had some guys to help him keep going, so that's where he was all right. And then you entrusted him to do the ECW stuff, and Vince set him up for failure with ECW, and then what happened with him, and then he owns this craft in TNA and decides, hey, I'm gonna go to fucking MMA and I'm gonna be a world champion.
Mm-hmm. And that's like when he won the belts with the Hurt Business. I felt like I don't know if he needs MVP now. That's not what I'm saying, but I feel like now he's at that.
He definitely needs a mouthpiece.
I feel like he's
But
at.
but here's the problem with that. He's technically going now on Montez Ford, but we all know Taz is nice on the mic, and the fact that he can work too, he'll overshadow Bobby Lashley in a month, maybe
I,
even less than that.
I enjoyed Leo Rush with Lashley.
Leo is nice because a small guy, chicken shit, whatever. I'd love to see Leo back in WWE, but me being biased as I am, I would much rather see him in New Japan because he's got a whole lot of unfinished business there right now.
Mm.
He's not the best Super Juniors, which kind of bums me out, but he'll be there soon. I can see him popping up around Dominion time.
Cause I feel like if he was to get MVP back, do they spend the block back on the Hurt Business or
You'd almost have to,
you have to?
but I would insert Mello as opposed to Cedric. No disrespect to Cedric, but that style ain't him. That vibe ain't him, in my at least.
And that's why I've been thinking like Carmelo been losing the last 2 weeks that I've seen him on. Well, no, I can't say that because he got past the first round. So he ain't been losing, but he's lost 2 out of this 3 matches on SmackDown.
I'm not really sweating the win loss record with him right now, at least for a few months, only because again, he just got called up. Let him get his feet wet first. We'll check back with this maybe as early as Survivor Series at least, maybe even Royal Rumble season. But
Mm,
for now, just let him find his rhythm. He's fine.
okay, okay. We had DIY versus Humberto and Angel. Man, I am tired.
Can I get into my hot take real quick with this?
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so from the moment they DIY was introduced in NXT, dog shit.
Mm,
Aside from the matches with the Revival, now FTR and American Alpha, they ain't shit. Ciampa alone, yes, money. Gargano, Marty Jannetty.
mm,
It's that simple. Yes, Gargano at one point was putting on some of the best takeover matches we'd ever seen, but it takes two to tango. The guys he was having those classic matches with have effectively all done bigger and better things before, since, and post Gargano.
mm, mm,
We don't need DIY to be a thing. We need Gargano to get the dog shit kicked out of him by Tommaso Ciampa. Give me back the Psycho Killer. Give me back the Sicilian Nightmare. Bring back Danny Ciampa so he can be reunited with a new Goldie.
mm.
Gargano's dead weight. Not sorry.
And I'm not gonna lie, Gargano looks better in the ring tonight than I've seen in quite some time. But I'm with you on that. I don't like seeing them as a tag team. It never hit for me. I enjoy them as separate individual competitors.
So, did you
More
watch
than
their run in NXT when they were there respectively?
Yeah.
Aside from American Alpha and FTR, who else did they have good matches with? Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest too. I felt what were they called? The group that Gargano had with Indy
The way,
Hartwell. Yeah, the way that was better than DIY. With Austin Theory in there. That was to me better than it had a better vibe. Like it was like, all right, I could see this. DIY just feel like some try hard shit to me. Like it feel
again,
forced.
and even they both admitted the only reason why that was formed was because Triple H didn't want to fire both of them. He wanted to keep both of them after the Cruiserweight Classic, so he put them together.
And that's
And
pretty
guess
much
what?
was going on
Tommaso
now.
Ciampa was Shawn Michaels. Gargano was Martin Jannetty. One was obviously better than the other.
And in this Regeneration X, it looked like he's both. Gargano like X Pac. X Pac
No,
was
no,
better
no,
than
no, 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 no,
Gargano.
no, 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 no.
X Pac was better
Tommaso
than him.
Ciampa is Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Johnny Gargano was Hornswoggle.
Gotta be. That yeah. Remember Hornswoggle was in DX. Yes,
Because
sir.
remember, there was a episode where they were in Little People's Court. Hornswoggle was forced was by court order to be inducted into DX. So again, Tommaso Ciampa is Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Johnny Gargano was fucking Hornswoggle in this situation.
Mm.
You're welcome, Truth.
Yeah, I'm not really so, and then they the competitive, like, to be honest, if you telling me DIY versus A Town Down Under, I got A Town Down Under. I don't know what it is. I'm just
Easy.
a fan. Yeah, easy. Like I'm a fan of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. My only issue with them is I also feel like they should be separate, but I feel like they've grown to have whatever little
I've
chemistry
grown
they
to
got.
like them.
Yeah.
They, they
And
they got in this rhythm that it works for me.
hmm at first I was like,
But
what is
again,
the correlation? Like, why are they cool?
just the two dickheads being dickheads.
That's all
Two
it is.
fat boys, basically, if you think about it.
Yep.
But again, when A Town Down retains, it's in Triple H's best interest to just pull trigger, let Ciampa beat the shit out of Gargano because Gargano's taking ass whooping.
Mm.
Let Ciampa beat him up and just tell him, "I'm tired of you holding me back," and just turn that motherfucker loose.
I could see that being a win-win because then we could get Ciampa, Gargano on the main roster. Then they finally go their separate ways, man.
They had magic in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they had a few too soon, but again, for my palate at least, it's been long enough since their last one. They're okay to fight against each other again because again, that was money.
Oh, it's been years,
You
yeah.
don't you don't got to go straight to the street fight. Just let them kick the shit out of each other,
Like I was
and
kind of
then
surprised that
one, two, three.
I'm surprised that they presented as DIY now. Like I would have thought that after the time that they were drafted, that a few years ago when they were drafted, or not even drafted, when they were brought up to the main roster separately, I'd have thought like Triple H should have kept it that way now. But maybe we build into something. Like you said, we got time to marinate. There might be some things in the works. Like,
But yeah, just again, get Ciampa away from Gargano to where again, I would love to see Ciampa versus Sammy for that IC belt. Put the IC belt on Ciampa. That's money right there.
so we got that's it for this week's SmackDown. Then next week is gonna be in Saudi.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Even though Meltzer's swearing to God it's going to be taped.
I mean, it should be taped because
But remember, Saudi, rumor has it, they're pitching, they want WrestleMania there or one of the big four there.
mhm. I could see them
So,
giving Roy Rumble.
so like, but again, can you imagine 1 year WrestleMania in London, the next year WrestleMania France, the next year WrestleMania Saudi Arabia, next year WrestleMania Mexico, WrestleMania Japan.
Yeah, if the venues are big enough and the money's there, yeah. Because realistically,
Again, as much as people hate it, Saudi got the money for it.
I was about to say like, um, the
And
gate
again, well, WrestleMania, they go crazy with their shit as it is. Can you imagine one of the big ass Saudi buildings?
the gate for the gate for backlash, people are paying out there prices.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but the Saudi crowds, they're starting to take after the Euro crowds. They're starting to get a little bit of pep in their step. Can you
Mm,
imagine 150,000 people losing their fucking minds at a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia?
hell yeah, I could see it. I could definitely.
Just one, because like I said, that's a shitload of people. Two, it's WrestleMania. Imagine people flying out over there. Like I said, that talk about a crazy gate. Just WrestleMania week there alone, or any part of the world for that matter. Shit, if you had your passport, would you spend a week in the UK just to go chill and watch WrestleMania?
If I had the bread, yeah.
Facts.
I had the bread, hell yeah. But that's the thing,
Just,
like,
just picture it. You, the whole family, a week in Europe, go chill out WrestleMania, and take in the sights. Once in a lifetime opportunity, just bam.
I think that's what started making WrestleMania dope though, the international crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was always dope environment, but really when we started
Because
getting,
Mania is the one show that hasn't gone international yet.
yeah. And so you
Because
take they home and they don't see this is one, two, three times a year, maybe. They gonna be
but a Mania, they may never, it could be a one and done thing.
yeah, so they
It-
what? That shit is like a Super Bowl. People are bidding for fucking WrestleMania. Like,
Look at the. I don't know if you've heard, like for example, NFL. They're massive in Germany. Anytime the Germany game's on sale, whatever, there's usually a wait list of millions of people. They have actual auctions for the tickets because some people want to go.
mm. London want to bring a Super Bowl over there too.
Oh no, it'll happen there. It'll happen eventually. But because of how wild the German crowds usually are for those games, I can see Germany get one before England does.
Mm.
Because like I said, those games that I think, oh, this year's probably different because of who's playing there, but usually that's probably one of the fastest sellouts that NFL gets.
That was it though for the SmackDown. How you felt? How you rated that show? What was your rating out of 10 right there?
Uh, it was a fair 7, 7.5. It did what it needed to do, pretty much.
Okay.
Because like I said, once certain things kind of happened, we kind of saw the writing on the wall with everything else. Like we knew we were kind of okay with Bianca going against either Jade or Nia because both of them will be just fine. You want to keep Jade versus Bianca special, anyways, and even the how they did Jade and Nia because that's still unfinished business right there. So again, it did a solid job.
Okay. What are you most looking forward to for the Kings and Queens PLE that's coming up?
If the move is Jay versus Tama, I'm genuinely curious to see how they do it because there's a few ways they can do it to where it's just fine, but there's a lot of ways where they can do it and they can go south real quick.
Mm.
So that's it's exciting but concerning at the same time.
I'm gonna be real disappointed if we get Jay versus Tama at Saudi
And
and
Jay wins clean.
clean.
Yeah,
No help from nobody.
yeah, that'd be a little rough.
That'd be rough. Cause I'm not gonna lie, him winning over Ilya was tough. I want to see. I'm gonna be interested to see how he gets over Gunther Hump.
Let's see. Honestly, but on the flip side, I wouldn't mind seeing Gunter and Randy in the finals
I was thinking that too.
but honestly, I can see a role where it'll probably be Jay versus Randy, or No, there's they're the same bracket, different brackets.
Who? Jay and
Jay and Randy.
they in the different sides. Randy
Okay,
and
so I can
SmackDown.
see that being another final.
Jay and Randy.
Yeah, if Gunther wins, it's almost certainly going to be Randy Orton winning.
Oh,
Yes,
you know what can happen too? I see it now. Chad, this is gonna be a hot take, and I don't want this to happen, but it can happen.
ain't no way it's going to be Tom and Gunther. Ain't no fucking way.
Nah. Jay versus Tama. Hear me out. Jay versus Tama. But since the bloodline helped Tama get over on Randy, Randy's gonna be in Saudi still. He's gonna be in SmackDown wrestling in Saudi. Why won't they use him on the PLE to get back at Tama and cost him and help Jay? Instead of using Jimmy or Jacob,
Uh,
Randy helps Jay.
in a small world, I can see that, but that's a
Only because he's already in Saudi.
house. He's not going to be in a match.
They doing
Oh, no.
SmackDown and Jeddah. That's what I'm
I can
saying.
see.
Why would
Yeah,
they
yeah.
send?
Randy could be petty, but also again, I could also see him kind of like trying to tie in the Logan Paul Cody stuff too.
Because I'm thinking like you just taking Randy out to Saudi for a SmackDown. Randy going to a SmackDown just for SmackDown to lose in Saudi. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's what's bubbling in my head. Like he gonna go next week
You've made a valid point, my friend.
to Saudi
A
to
very
lose,
valid point.
like to lose and not do nothing the next day on the PLE.
Randy is one petty motherfucker too.
Especially if the bloodline cost him on that SmackDown.
And Randy has always told everybody, "I'm back. If anybody with the bloodline, it's on site,
And what is
anytime, anywhere, until I see fit."
Kevin Owens doing? Oh, what is Kevin Owens doing? Nothing, right?
Yeah, we keep probably going on that trip.
So okay, so you got Randy
We we
attacking Tonga.
we ain't seen KO at all. I don't think.
Okay, so we take it. So it'll have to be Randy either attacking both Solo and Tonga, which he's capable of. He's the apex predator, enough to cause the distraction and let Jay get the win.
I do think the more likely scenario is Randy versus Gunter,
See, that would make
and
sense too.
and then having Gunter go back to back.
That makes sense too, because Randy going to Saudi to lose. I would consider to lose. It's crazy.
If he loses, it's gonna be at the PLE.
Right. Like, because now I'm thinking, like, I didn't know that the SmackDown, when we was giving these predictions, I didn't know that the SmackDown right before the PLE was in Saudi. I should have knew better than that.
No, well, no, I think that was announced like right before the show went on, or that rumor broke because Meltzer opened his mouth, and then someone was like, "Well, on the contrary."
So yeah,
Yeah,
that got me.
motherfucker.
I got my SmackDown side of predictions a little bit different as to where Raw could do whatever on Raw, and it might not affect who they got going on Saturday.
Oh, well, I mean, like I said, I still feel that again. If Gunther wins, Randy is definitely gonna win that match.
I can see that.
Without a doubt,
I can
without a
see that.
doubt. 'Cause, like, if Gunther wins, like, you can almost guarantee that Randy's gonna win
Mm, I can see that for sure.
because also if you think about it, all the new guys from WWE aside from Tama, they're all out of the tournament on both sides.
Yeah,
Tama's the last new person there. Well, we shall see.
we should
But
definitely.
but then again, it's like there's a good chance we don't see anything Bloodline related at Clash or basically until Money in the Bank. Are you cool with that? What else could you fill the void with?
Right. Yep. I could see that. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, yeah, because you don't want to overdo it too. Make it feel like there's gonna be a surprise every PLE, even though
Well, I'm not saying the surprise they're PLE, but it's like after the Saudi show, do you strictly just have their stuff on SmackDown for the next couple months? Can you afford to not have them on a PLE?
nah, I don't think
That's
so.
my question.
I don't think so, and I think it showed with the way that they just inserted Randy Orton and KO versus Solo and Tama at the last PLE. That shit was so random and last minute. Like,
There's a possibility that KO and Randy could challenge Aton down next, maybe at a Clash or Money in the Bank, maybe. There's a chance they could split up ultimately, whatever. There's a chance one of them could start going back after Logan Paul, and then you break those two up.
mm,
So basically, like on the SmackDown side, assuming they get either Money in the Bank or Clash, assuming they're gonna have if they go to split brand stores or if they're on both shows, whatever. Is there enough stores in WWE to where the Bloodline can take these next two PLEs off?
mm.
Can you afford to have them miss one or maybe both?
I mean, I feel like now you can. There's ways to extend it. Like, you can have a tag team match with Tama and Tonga versus Kevin Owens and Randy. You can also have one-on-one matches between those, like uh Randy versus Tonga and KO versus or whatever iterations they want to do. A tornado match. They could do a bunch of things.
No, so my question was, is there enough stuff going on to where you don't need them on a PLE?
Like, don't even book them at all.
Yes. So you don't send them to what I think the
Technically,
UK
yeah.
for Clash. You don't send them to Canada. Can you afford to not have? Is there enough stuff going to where you can just have them just on SmackDown? If you want to catch up with the Bloodline, strictly SmackDown, not a PLE.
Yeah. Yeah, because their storyline is it's not even in the main event position on the card right
It
now.
would have to be a main event position. It's just
Yeah.
again that the story, the chapters are what they are, but with all the new changes that have gone on, is there enough consistent stuff going on to where those other spots can get more of the shine of the PLE as opposed to the Bloodline taking up half the show?
Well, yeah, because it ain't like the old days. Remember the old days where SmackDown had an exclusive pay-per-view and it was only SmackDown Superstar. We aren't in those days, I believe. So if you have both brands on a PLE, yeah, the bloodline could take a PLE off. I believe so.
And we
Like
don't.
in theory, there's so many belts that could be defended at one PLE. You got Damian Priest with his. Becky Lynch got the women's belt. The tag team
Does Damian drop to Drew at Clash?
if they tired of fucking Drew, yeah.
Be- because Punk's supposedly gonna be ready by Money in the Bank, or potentially as early as Money in the Bank.
If they tired of fucking with Drew, then they let him have his real moment in his home country. But I think, like you were mentioning, there's still something there with Punk. So I don't think it's that easy for Drew.
Now, say Drew wins that Clash. There's a chance we could hotshot right into Punk Drew at Money in the Bank. in the
Punk
pay per
taking
view where Punk famously beat Cena when he had no contract with WWE in 2011. So he has ties to that specific PLE.
could he be the first 3-time winner?
He's not going to be the Money in the Bank match, but I'm just saying we could go straight to Punk versus Drew then. And as I said, I'm sure Cole will touch on what happened in 2011 with Punk and Cena, and they'll say, "Well, can this happen again? Can Punk win the belt at this event again?" I think he retained it, but still.
Okay.
But that was his last PLE essentially for pay per view.
I would think Drew McIntyre is not going to win. If he does win, CM Punk is taking the belt off him. If not, they might make CM Punk work an extra pay-per-view to get it. But I think if he loses, or I don't even think if he loses, if he doesn't get the title match at Money in the Bank, I think he'll be in the Money in the Bank match. Only off the merit that in recent times they'll just announce certain people like coming back. Oh yeah, I'm in this match, I'm in that match. They just put people like
So
right
so
now.
you're thinking Drew beats uh Priest and then Punk wins Money in the Bank?
And then listen to this. Drew McIntyre gets cashed in on twice in 1 year. Has that ever happened? Has somebody ever got cashed in on twice in 1 year?
So so when would Punk cash in? SummerSlam or
Same
Survivor
night.
Series?
The same night.
I'm not gonna. That'd be some funny shit.
That'd be some crazy shit, right?
That'd be hilarious.
He probably wouldn't expect, and this would be me. Like he probably wouldn't expect Punk to again. Why say the same night? How long? If he lost in 5 minutes, his shortest reign was 5 minutes until Damian Priest came out. You don't think CM Punk will want to ruin that?
Say I did it quicker.
Yeah, go to sleep in 1 minute.
uh, I
That'd
don't
be
even,
crazy.
honestly. I don't think the crowd can handle that in Toronto.
That'd be crazy. That'd be a monster.
I,
Like, what
I
is
don't.
going
I don't think they can handle that one.
on? I think that'd go crazy, especially if they was to do like notoriously WWE do. They'll put a Money in the Bank match first, men's Money in the Bank match first.
Or them or the women, one of them. But yeah, but both of them will be long before the world title
Yes.
or a title.
Yep. Rock us to sleep. Rock everybody to sleep. Oh, they had such a hard fought match to open up the show. Who did that once? Well, Kane is more of a powerhouse, so it was like him doing it to Rey Mysterio was fucked up. Like it was just like fuck Rey Mysterio, like give me the belt. When Kane cast in the same night. But if CM Punk does it to Drew Mac,
Didn't Liv do it the same night?
I don't remember if Liv did, but she might have.
She might have. Because I remember her winning, but I don't remember her having the belt very long.
Yeah, I feel like if CM Punk could do that to Drew McIntyre within this storyline, it'll be so much because he's the reason why you got. I could say I'm the reason I cashed in on you. You got cashed in on twice, and both your both your shortest title reigns, were my fault. I'm the reason you couldn't enjoy your so-called moments.
Now, now, what if Punk puts that on a T-shirt? How quick you buying that T-shirt?
Mm. I bought the one when he first came back. I got that one, so I think I'll get it pretty quick. I haven't got every Punk shirt, but when he first came back, that one was in the garden. I said, "Oh man, I need to get this." Yes, sir. I'm the reason. I'm the reason. That'd be crazy. I could see it too,
You
though.
bad man.
Yeah, like and he's been costing him and costing him. I just don't see the direction of like Drew McIntyre at this point. Like
I
y'all
think the
just want to
bigger
make
question is what he did. what do you even do? What do you do with Priest?
Yeah, that's another one too. Cause I guess we all waiting for the same. We waiting for Finn Balor to challenge for the belt. How do we get there? Does Finn Balor win the
I
belt now?
think
You think?
again, I don't even think that match needs the belt, to be honest.
Mm. So it just
Because
needs to.
Stig hit him with the "I've wanted to do this to you for years,"
Mm. It's
and
crazy to
then
think though.
him and Madonna hit Finn with the "You with him or me?"
Judgment Day has been around for almost 4 years now, right? Maybe three.
At least three by now.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's big tough right there. But yeah, I can't wait for the next week PLE. I've been excited leading up to the PLEs. It's gonna be another early one, so
The next three are gonna be pretty early.
mhm, maybe not the Toronto one, right? That one should be, I think, more on my
No,
time,
that should be your time. Yeah,
regular time.
maybe a couple other early for shits and giggles, maybe.
Yeah, that other one, the
But
Clash, is gonna be early.
no, yeah, but no, that one should be closer to your time, honestly.
Thank goodness. I'm not gonna lie. I remember that one time they did a show in Japan when Brock for
Oh, the Beast in the East, where he
yeah,
had.
I had to stay up till 5 in the morning, chat. 5 in the morning. Well, I could have probably went to sleep, but my
Hold on.
silly head
Speaking of,
that
what time is New Japan on tonight? Because I'm
uh
gonna be up for that. Best believe.
what time? That's you said that's the time they come on at 5?
Well, so yeah, so 5 your time, like 2 my time.
Damn. I gotta tuck early tonight because it's over here is the next
It's about 1 in the morning, damn near for you.
yeah, it's May 18th. Today my father's birthday, so he wanna go out to the beach and have fun today.
Happy birthday, pops. You
Yes.
enjoy.
Big 6-0. He
Ooh, yeah, man. Still the prime of his life.
Yes, sir. He did that. So we're gonna go out, enjoy, take the family and stuff. I'ma brace myself because I don't know. Sometimes he be having me drive. He want to have a good time. So I'm gonna probably have to be the one driving. So I don't want to be too tired and stuff. But if not, I would have stayed.
Just tell the missus to keep track for you whenever you lose count.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If
sir.
if the little ones know how to count, make sure they count too, just as the backup, so they can tell mommy, "Hey, daddy fucked up."
Man, nah, I'll be honest. When I go out like that, I'll just be chill for real. I'll fucking probably just smoke one and then just chill. I don't even be indulging because it's too hot in the beach. Like I don't know about you, but when I'm drinking and I'm hot, I get fucked up way faster than like if
Hmm.
I'm in the crib or under the AC or something. Then I can have a few more. But outside,
Yeah,
man,
yeah. But your pop's gonna tell you, "You gonna leave me hanging like that?"
that is true though, right?
You gonna tell him no? You
Man,
a brave man,
you can't say no. You can't say no, right?
especially now.
Unless I do the maneuver on him and I tell him because this is how I usually get him. Yo, when we get back, I'll get you with the bottle of honey, you heard? Let's get right in the crib. Like, I get him like that. When we come back from the beach, we gonna get super lit.
This is gonna be the one time he gonna do that and remember. This gonna be the one time
Right? Like, yo, you ain't take that shot with me, man. Like, yeah,
I'm
but we
gonna
got
fuck you up now.
but yeah, man, I appreciate the episode. We wrapped them up. Smackdown, King of the Ring, quarterfinal tournaments. The finals are coming up on Monday for the Raw. Is it no, it's quarterfinals for Raw as well. No,
Hmm.
it's the is it quarterfinals?
Both are the semis.
Semis, there we go. What's up, Andy? I see you out there, Andy. I appreciate you stopping by. You said WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA. What's up, Andy? How you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we was talking about
We need to start keeping a close eye on TNA because they've been doing some good stuff lately.
yeah, for sure. I just, you know what I need to do a better job at? keeping a schedule of when each show comes on. Like obviously,
Raw's on Mondays,
yeah,
NXT's Tuesdays, Dynamite's Wednesdays, Impact's Thursdays, SmackDown's Fridays. The other two AEW shows are on Saturdays.
yep. That's what I need to do a better job at, and then getting the time and the links right, or the availability to watch. Cause I used to catch everything on my cable box, right? And this is where TNA ruined it for me at one point. I forgot what channel they were on my cable box, and then they moved to a different channel that I didn't have, and I was just like, "Well, GG's." It was
This
up.
is why this is why streaming services are a little bit better. You know what channel you get right away, ain't nothing ever gonna change. Although Fubo TV, you need to start carrying a TNT and TBS. I shouldn't have to get a whole nother program just for those two damn channels.
It's like, that shit is like fucking. What is this shit like? Kind of like Amazon a little bit. You got to pay for channels within the
Yeah,
platform.
well, no. Fubo is it's like a streaming, but it's like a cable service. Where I get a whole bunch of channels, but as far as what I watch, I get everything but TNT and TBS.
It's crazy. See, sometimes that's why I still keep a cable box because there's live stuff that whenever you trying to watch it on a third like a extra source or something, it's just like, man, listen, I ain't got time for this shit cutting off right now. I'm and then also the possibility of harm if you don't have the right protection on your computer and stuff like that, you risk that as well.
But also, if Sling was a little bit pricier, I'd probably get that more because they definitely carry the channels I need. Also, what I like about Sling is they carry East Coast time slots.
Yeah. See, yeah, you doing it the right way. Like I got a few streaming joints that I had paid for too that I was catching.
You know, some
Um,
of it get expensive.
yeah, I had Hulu, Netflix, all the good stuff.
Before Fubo TV, I had that PlayStation one that they used to have back in the day.
Mm.
They used to have a thing where they sold channels. I think it's called PlayStation View or something like that. They had a good amount of channels.
It was VUE or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, I know what you told. I always
And
seen it. I never clicked into it.
yeah, they had just like everything I watched, and then out of the blue one day, they're like, "Yeah, we're closing it down."
Yeah, I remember them doing.
I was like, "You motherfuckers!"
I mean, like WWE Network. I get that they got the bag. I hope that the day that they go back to WWE Network, that shit was so fire
I mean,
to
it's
me.
still around. It's just it's only the UK or everywhere else but the US.
So I would have to VPN my shit, get
Hmm.
up in there, like, let me get this. That's crazy. Insanity.
But if you think about it, Peacock's so cheaper than it
Yeah.
by a couple bucks.
I just for me personally, the format of Peacock annoys me. Like, it's just like I
Too
don't
much shit going on.
it- it's the way that they layer it out. Like, so for example, they'll put Raw right here, and when you click into Raw, it's showing you like the most recent shit. But if I wanted to get the whole episode of Raw, I gotta go to a whole different section. And I'm just like,
Got you.
yeah, it was like, bro, why not just keep it as one? Like, if this tab right here is Monday Night Raw, just let me click into like how Netflix is or the rest of the Peacock. When you click on Law and Order, you could click episodes and it take you to all the seasons. For some weird reason, it's like WWE, they just separate things to make it look like they got more stuff. Just like, bro,
Peacock, fix your shit.
yeah, fix it. Fix it. Keep the format, man. Keep the formula. It's working. We love it. Just fix the shit. Yo,
Just
honey,
a
I
quick
see you out
fix.
there. Honey. Yeah, just fix the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. You just gotta fix the shit. Anything you want to say before you get up out of here? What's on that New Japan joint that you watching?
It's I believe it's night four of the Best of Super Juniors, but it's just we're still on block action. They won't start doing like eliminations later for this round robin stuff until maybe next weekend. This tournament's gonna go on for the rest of the month until Dominion, which is the beginning of June. So that's what stuff's definitely gonna ramp up. But for now, it's just block format stuff, trying to rack up points. But there's been a few good matches, whatever. The boys from Pro Wrestling Noah have been showing out because after once Kiyomi had gotten that stuff with Okada last year, they've had a chip on the show, so they want to let them know, hey, we can throw down too. You guys have the bigger show, but we ain't afraid of y'all. We can do the same shit you can do, but better.
Mm. So it's looking like you got a little night ahead of you right there. You got the New Japan popping off later. You know, like I just told you.
I'll probably do a quick power nap before then.
Yeah, I hear that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get up to watch that shit, nice and energized. Um, yeah. As far as that, I think we covered everything. You know what I'm saying? My brother, you already know. Until the next one, everybody off the hit. Unwelcome your thoughts, y'all.